Am I live? Am I live? Okay, I think we're live. Hello, hello. Oh my God. I look like I have been through hell. Whew. Another week. So I'm going to wait for a few more people to hop on and then we'll get started. Do we have anybody on yet? Okay. Wait one more minute and then we're going to jump in. If you're watching the recording, I'm really pumped about this lesson. It's going to sound really dumb, especially right now with everything that's going on, but it is something that I think is just crucial for just self-preservation right now. You know, we're dealing with so much and times are so uncertain. And whether you're working, whether you're not working, or if you're going to work, if you're home, whatever the case may be, it's really important that you still have different things in your life that maybe aren't absolute necessities, but still matter very much. So I'm gonna send one reminder message in the chats and then we'll dive in. Okay. So anybody who doesn't catch this live, you can just catch up on the recording. So, what the hell is a passion project, right? And why is it the ultimate self-care challenge? And why is that important right now? So, a passion project is anything that gives you a purpose that you have to continue. Hi, hello. So, a passion project is anything that gives you purpose in a way. And what I mean by that is something that makes you feel excited to do it. You know you have to work towards it continuously, but it doesn't matter who sees it. It doesn't matter where it goes, if it makes you any money, if anything comes of it. It's just simply something that is enjoyable. So, but it requires you building upon it, either learning something completely new or getting better and improving upon something. So, it's really important when you think about your passion project, and we'll get into this more, that it's not just something that's surface level. It's not just some craft. So, oh, I'm going to take up crocheting. Okay. What makes a passion project different is how specific it is to truly, and that what it is, passion. It's something that you really love. And if the big thing is, a lot of people don't give themselves the time to plan what that passion is and to dwell on it, to brainstorm. They think if they don't know it immediately that it's something bad. You know, it's like, oh, well, I don't know what the hell to do. You get all frustrated. I don't know if any of you guys can relate to that, where it's like you almost don't want to do something new because you don't want to run the risk of being terrible at it or just not understanding it or whatever. If you can't know the answer right away, you kind of push it away. I know I've done that in the past. So when we're sitting and brainstorming, you might be frustrated at first. Like, why the hell can't I just know what I want to do? Like, why is it so friggin' hard for me? I want you to push through that. Your job is to find out what you would want. Find out what that would be. Okay, just because you haven't thought about it in this capacity doesn't mean that when I say, what's your passion project, you should just know. It means that this is something for you to sit and really kind of dwell on until you find something that speaks to you. It should be something that deserves that much thought. So if it comes to you like that, I want you to stop and plan it out even more, because it might not truly be something that you'd be excited to keep doing. It might be something that just sounds good right now. Okay. So here's some ideas of passion projects, and then I want to discuss it with you. Hey, girl. So one of the most popular ideas, and I'm going to use, I have a client example, but one of the most popular ideas is for a niche type of Instagram. And it could be, it's like, have you guys heard of Finstas? It's like, hold on. I know water break. So if you ever think of Finstas, it's a fake Instagram. It's an Instagram that you can just like post whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Nobody sees it. It's like it doesn't count. So you can truly put up whatever pictures you want. Maybe you leave it on private. Maybe you're the only soul that ever sees it. Doesn't matter. That's what a Finsta is. Take the concept and apply it towards something that really interests you. So something like, I had a client who wanted to do a dentistry themed Instagram. And, it's a passion of theirs because it's their career, but maybe they didn't feel well enough to do it at that time. So instead they made an Instagram dedicated to little trivia facts about dentistry or whatever, something like that. If you want to make it about, I don't know, flight patterns of birds, like it could literally be whatever the hell you want. It just has to be something that like is weird and it's you and it's something you're into and something you're going to dedicate time to doing. As long as that's it, it doesn't matter what the hell the Instagram's about, but put effort into it. If you have to learn, and that's the key difference. If I move around a lot today, my back is on the fritz. So if you see me like moving really awkwardly, that's what that is, because I'm distracting myself looking at it. But find something that is so uniquely yours that you want to almost like watch YouTubes on how to do. Jess, I know I don't have to tell you about this, but like watch YouTubes on how to do social media so that you can try making your posts look different. Learn how to make graphics for yourself. There's tons of apps. That's the point of a passion project. It's not so much just like a wham bam craft. It's something that you actually have to put little baby steps and time into, but for something that you really, really enjoy that speaks to you. That level of commitment and work. Now, by the way, you do not by any means have to take on some huge endeavor where you are, spending hours and hours doing this every day. It's not like I'm telling you like get another job now for free though. I mean, even if on one day you create the bio of your Instagram and then a day later you think of picture ideas for it, it could be as small, like how you work towards it, or as big as you want. The idea is to let your own motivation decide the pace, but know that you should put something towards it each day as self-care. Okay. So we have like the really niched, very specific Instagram idea. There's also TikTok tutorials. So if you have been, let's say you love cooking, let's say you love doing makeup, you love doing stuff on the computer, you love, I don't know, whatever. Make it an entire TikTok, again, who cares if anyone sees it, dedicated to tutorial videos, little edited tutorial videos for it, right? You'd have to learn. I don't know how the hell to make a TikTok video. I'm the first one to say, like, that would be something I'd have to spend time looking into. So, try to do something like that where you can really dive in and have to improve and force yourself to like develop. Your first video might suck. It probably will. I'm not going to lie. It's probably going to be terrible, but it's going to be your first. It's better than your nonth, your 17th video will probably be leaps and bounds. Oh my God, I shudder at the thought of some of my posts. When I first got started, it made no sense. So the way you get better at something is by doing it. And if you take away the pressure of other people seeing it, all you have to do is spend time doing something you love and getting better at it for yourself. Okay, so TikTok tutorials. There's tons of tutorials on how to make TikTok tutorials. If you just look on YouTube. A meaningful art piece. So I know I said no crafting, right? But that's something different than if you have like this old piece of furniture you got at a garage sale, or some old dingy chair of yours, or I don't know, maybe you have an old rocking chair, maybe you have a palette out back and you want to make something meaningful, put effort into it. Look up ideas on different types of art pieces. Get inspired. Brainstorm about this art piece. You want it to be meaningful. You want to put work into it. Not necessarily like backbreaking work and not a lot at once, but you want to put some like thought and planning into it, so that it's not just some random craft and then you're like, okay, well, what now? Do something that you're going to cherish and love. If we have to go through this period of time, I'm not trying to sit here and tell you guys that you should want to come out of it with like works of art and genius, like works of genius, or your novel, your whatever. I'm not telling you have to be on any time frame. I'm telling you that if anything has to come out of this shitstorm, wouldn't a nice, meaningful piece of art be worth it? And wouldn't you want that meaningful piece of art not to be like some coaster you saw in some 1-minute video, So think about that. Think about, what do I want this thing that I'm going to do to mean when this is all said and done? And it deserves that much time in brainstorming and planning. And that in itself could be self-care, something you're doing for you, okay? Or, I mentioned it a little bit before, refinishing any furniture, little by little. Do a drawer a week, doesn't matter. It's just something you dedicate yourself to. I said this before too, jokingly, but yeah, write a book. If you, I don't know if any of you guys are wacky like me, but I've been saying forever, like, I want to write a book really bad. Now, I fully understand that the chances may be that I will have to be able to afford a ghostwriter before that ever happens, so I can get all the stuff up here on paper. But if you've always wanted to, why don't you just start out by writing? Figure out what the subject is going to be. Write a couple pages. Delete them if you hate them. Again, there's no pressure here. This isn't your second career. This is just something you're going to continue getting better at, chiseling away at, if you will. It doesn't have to be a book that you write necessarily. Maybe you want to make a kid's book. I know a few of you guys in here who would probably make an amazing kid's book. And I know that sounds like dumb, but the thought, the effort, the planning about, if it's something that's right up your alley, you'll still enjoy it. And that's the point of a passion project. It's not to make a book that you're going to submit to a publishing house and it's going to be a hit. But hey, better odds of that happening if you do it versus not, So learn photography. You can buy, there's the audio books, like the Kindles that walk you through it. There's tons of tutorials that are free, of course. There's workshops, especially right now, like crazy. And there's a lot of ones that show you how to do all that stuff just with your phone, or teaching you different style of filtering, different apps for filtering. There's different ways to do it, But again, the point is in the process, not so much the final product, okay? Scrapbook. I don't know any of my OCD people in here feel me on the hoarding level. That was one of my favorite things that I got over. I still catch myself sometimes. Like, where is it? Oh, this way. I don't read any of those books. None. I don't know why I have them. I won't get rid of them, though. I moved them. We redecorated in here. They made it from there to there. They're going to stay there, too, because that's just who I am. But how about those little things, those little tiny things? You're always like, oh, I'm going to save this. I'm going to do something with this. I don't know if you're like me. Anybody else does that. But, like, I save, like, on vacation, I've saved napkins from restaurants that I, like, really, really loved. I'm sure I have some. Okay, really embarrassing but funny story. And I hope this makes everyone realize I'll never judge you, ever. This is one of the reasons why. About a year and a half ago, I was cleaning out this office for the first time of many more to follow. And I'm looking through a box and I find trinkets from our wedding. And in this box, I find, oh my God, this is so gross and so embarrassing. I find one of my nails from my wedding. Like when I got my set done, my bridal nails, I saved them when they fell off my finger. I at that time, I guess I was like, I'm gonna scrapbook it because I didn't understand just quite how creepy that was. I threw them out immediately. Okay, when I cleaned out my office, I was at a different place. So, but just so you know, I'll never judge. So scrapbook. Look, you got some funky nail sets laying around. Scrapbook it. Now's the time, right? You can get a lot of your supplies online. If not, you can kind of MacGyver stuff around your house. And I have found that that's super fun. If you repurpose things, order yourself a hot glue gun on Amazon and girl, you can repurpose anything, I swear. Except if you try to glue on metal, that doesn't work. I tried with this cheap like metal frame that I have. I clamped down rope, I glued it all around the side. Nope, popped off clean. But those are parts of the things that you go through when you're learning how to do whatever it is that you're doing. Now I know, and I get a different frame, different glue. So don't be afraid to screw up. Document yourself learning something new. That could be a project, a passion project in and of its friggin' self, is just documenting yourself in the process of learning. Guys, can you still, are the comments still working? My screen is like going in and out on my end for some reason. If you can't hear me or it cuts out or anything, try to shoot me a text or tell me if you can. So I'm just gonna keep going and hopefully it's okay. For those of you who might be feeling like down in the dumps about like, oh, I wish I could be doing more. Like, I wish I could be doing anything more than just sitting here existing. I feel meaningless. I've heard that really commonly. And maybe it's because, you know, you think like I should be doing more in terms of helping with COVID, or maybe it's just more around the friggin' house, okay? But that feeling of like, I need to be doing more. If we have something like this that we can be plugging away little by little at, that's gonna help with that feeling a lot. And it's also gonna end up with some kind of product and distraction. So here's an idea for you guys. If you want to kind of help in the altruistic kind of way, what if you made soap for frontliners? You know, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It could be you watch a couple videos on YouTube, you make a couple, you don't send them and donate them into your local emergency department. Whether or not those people actually use the soap you send or not, that's a really beautiful thing. You know, that could be nice, warm their hearts a little bit. And again, it's a project of yours. It might turn into something that you end up loving. Maybe you start making your own serums and soaps and stuff. Who knows? But, you know, try it out. Or you can make face masks with like inspirational messages on them or something like that. You know, look up how to do that, try it, figure it out. Like anything else, get to a prototype, and when it's good, make them, you know. But again, the passion in the process, not the final result. If you try this and you don't want to give those masks to friggin' anybody, that's okay. But at least like you put the effort into the process of it. So there's a bunch of fun apps that I've mentioned. So one of them, if you have an iPad, and yeah, I think it's only iPads, pretty sure. I think old ones too. But there's an app called Procreate. Sounds like Procreate, but Procreate. And you can get like a cheap, Nick ordered this, I think on Wish, I'm pretty sure. It's just a stylus pen, right? And there's a way, like that app, Procreate, you can actually, or you can do Adobe Draw if you can't get Procreate, because I think that might be Apple only, I'm not sure. Also keep in mind, I'm like a boomer when it comes to technology, so I'm probably wrong on the specifics of all that, but basically get yourself an app where you could draw and get yourself a cheap little stylus made for touchscreen. And get to watch tutorial videos, make your own graphics. You know how you see all those cool like digital, obviously a lot of those people are artists and professionals. So I am not telling you that just get yourself a stylist and you could do it. But the fun is in learning. You ever see those cute graphics and little like clip arts on Instagram? Why don't you try finding one as inspiration and practice and enjoy learning the app and how to do it. The process, that's the part that matters, okay? Calligraphy. Could get calligraphy pens and learn how, oh my God, those videos are so satisfying. The calligraphy ones where you see like the ink all liquid still, the best. Learn how to do that. You're gonna have a lot of crappy looking cards before you get to a good one. Just saying. It looks easy. It always does. But it should require learning. That's the biggest point. At the end of the day, no matter what it is you choose, it should require learning, whether completely from scratch or learning how to improve on something maybe you've done before. It should be challenging. And honestly, it sounds like some of you may be hearing this. Tell me how you're feeling. Some of you may be hearing this and you're like, I'm excited. I'm excited to figure out what it is that I want to do. I'm excited to sit and think about this. Some of you may be like, I don't know what the hell I want to pick. And you're like beating yourself up because you don't know automatically, like I mentioned before. And some of you might be like, it's another job. I'm busy already, or I just don't feel like it. And what I got to say to you for that is think of it as exercise, I guess. Exercise, a lot of people do love it, just saying, but a lot of people don't love it. And you just do it because it's like helpful, feels good eventually. It helps with your health, there's benefits to it. And then eventually becomes a part of your everyday, and it does wonders for your hormones and your mental well-being to just have that time to yourself, right? Not always, but that's the hope. So same thing with this. If it's not something that's going to make you necessarily get up and put physical effort forward, but having something you work towards every day in a time where it seems we have none of that anymore is really stress relieving. It gives you something where even if you have a million things to do, but somehow your brain is blank and you can't think of freaking one, instead of being like, I'm an idiot, I can't think of anything. At least you have your passion project that if you go and spend 5 minutes on it, that's one thing you can stay laser focused on at any given time. You can pick it up and continue. That is something that's very grounding. And no matter what your schedule's going right now, whether you're dealing with the anxiety side of things right now or the depression side of things right now, or what if you're just existing and like, I'm okay, it's another day like all the rest. This is going to help you feel like you're not stuck in a friggin' waiting room until this all blows over. Because to some degree, I feel like all of us wake up every day feeling like, okay, is it reality still? Like, yeah, we're still here. We got to break that up because the lows get to be really low when times are like these because you pile fear on top of it. And, the highs where you're feeling really good, how much can you organize, honestly? And what if you don't feel like friggin' organizing? I don't. Someone do it for me. I'll maintain it, but I hate getting in there and organizing, So think about what you would want to dedicate your time to, your passion to, what could be fun. What makes you feel like, oh, that could be fun for the hell of it to do? And whatever that is, take your time, put it in your schedule to brainstorm about it. Plan out little things you can do towards it each day. And hey, you may really be proud of yourself at the end of this, or you may be glad to have just had a really awesome distraction. The other fun side of things is maybe it could turn into a career path, or it could turn into a little side business that you didn't know you even had an interest in. Maybe you decide that you love refinishing furniture. You love making this certain kind of special art piece that you figured out how to make. Maybe you decide to pursue a different career because you realize you love talking about something else, and inspiration comes from it. Whatever the case may be, there's nothing but good things that can come from it. And I'm honestly curious to see what you guys come up with. So you want it to be something, just to recap, you want it to be something that requires you to learn. I need to stop using my hands. Learn and plan. You need to plan. Okay. Don't get discouraged if you need to plan. That's how anything good comes about. It takes a lot of friggin' thinking and brainstorming, and that's how it happens. Okay. Come up with something you want to try. Come up with steps that you want to get to use it, and then do it each day, little by little. It should be something, don't forget this part. Don't just pick something that's like, yeah, okay, that sounds about right. Like, I guess, because you're not going to stay motivated to do that. It's going to be something else on your plate that you just feel like you suck at doing. And none of us need an excuse to feel that. So it should be something that you love. If you struggle with thinking about that, text me and we'll dive deeper on it and find some little specific part of what you're thinking that would probably mean a lot more to you. Okay? So keep me involved in that process as you think things through. All right? If you are done with this, like we end this and you're like, the hell is she talking about? What do I do? I don't care if you text me to tell me I'm a moron. Whatever. I want to help you find something because it can really be helpful. Okay? So let me see these comments. Feel free to share your thoughts. You know me, feedback queen. I've been going through some old memory boxes and found that I have neurotically saved like everything I've ever come in contact with. Been purging so much. It feels so good. That was me. When finally I was like, that's it. I don't know how I have this much shit. Is when it felt great. I was like, yep, nope, don't know what it is. Toss it. Get rid of it. To that note, the Lupus Foundation has a really awesome system. If you guys haven't heard of it, hold on one second. Where you schedule a time with them and you just put out whatever, like clothing, utensils, cups, whatever the hell. You put it in like a black garbage bag and you put it outside on the time that you schedule with them on their website, and they just come pick it up and then they mail you like a receipt for it so that you can use it for taxes. And it goes to Lupus Foundation and they take everything. It's awesome. Super convenient, especially for right now where you don't necessarily know if you want to be like going in places or if you can't find those bins around by where you are, then that's a great way to schedule a donation. Food for thought, because we have so much more stuff to get rid of. Ugh, never ends. But I mean, that's a privilege in and of itself, I guess. I'm cycling now to get out and be distance and exercise. Awesome. I'm very busy already and I have many hobbies already, but I did think of 2 things that could be for me. Thank you. The thing is that you want it to be, take one of your hobbies, let's say, and have it be a branch off of that. Like, let me think. Let's say your hobby is, I'm going to completely BS this, but let's say your hobby is collecting stamps. So then your passion project would be to make something to put those stamps on display, or make something like mindful. Like maybe you arrange the stamps like in a design of your home state or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like just dive deeper on something that's within what your interests are and find one project to pick within that to dedicate yourself to just getting done. However long that takes, like I said, as long as you think about it each day, as long as you work towards it a little by little, it doesn't matter if that takes you a day to complete. Well, it shouldn't take a day. Like it takes a little bit to complete, or maybe you don't complete it by the time lockdown is friggin' lifted. But have it branch off of something and don't stress yourself to do it. Just make sure it's relief for you to do each day. I love the calligraphy idea. Yeah, you can make like really cool like art pieces, but maybe that'll lead into maybe you want to do stationery and you can sell designs on Etsy or something. They have digital designs for purchase on Etsy. So there's a lot. Maybe you could teach seminars on how to do calligraphy one day because you become a friggin' genius scribe. Who knows? Who knows? I'm wondering if baking could be something for me. I've never baked before I did this program really, and I've been enjoying trying new hormone-friendly desserts. Absolutely. Girl, you were so excited when you made the bread. And honestly, I think what I mentioned before with the document yourself learning, sometimes the fun could be document yourself learning how to bake. Like record yourself learning as you're making a mess and screwing up and stuff, or review yourself taste testing your baked items and stuff, because you can make light of it, I guess, as you're learning and stumbling through and doing all the trial and error and stuff. That's fun in itself when you watch it in a lighthearted way versus being like hard on yourself. And then ultimately, if you record like taste testing stuff, as you do that and get better and better and better, that'll be really rewarding for you to look at, comparing your first time documenting it to, I don't know, like a month later. You can review your findings. Could be something fun. It's just, again, the point is the process. But that's an awesome idea. You know, if there's, let's say there's a room around your house that you've been wanting to repurpose, you've been wanting to dedicate it to something, like, I don't know, maybe there's an area in your garage you've wanted to tidy up for all your like art supplies, or maybe there's an area where all your books are that you feel like crap because they're all just laying there on the floor. Whatever it is, maybe make your project setting up a space for yourself. I don't know. I'm just spitballing, but you guys get the point. I love doing sometimes these little really weird, different direction type of lessons. I feel like there's no better time to interject some of those from week to week than now, because I can sit here and I could hammer in, you know, mindset into you guys. I could talk about carbs, which not really, because everybody's different in here, you know, but I really like reminding you guys that even when crazy stuff is happening, it is not a bad thing to do something you enjoy. Don't feel guilty if you're not doing something you should, or working or exercising. Like, don't beat yourself up if you're not living like how you should. You can do stuff that might not seem important like this and feel really good about yourself. And that, especially these days, is super important. We have the rest of our lives to be productive, okay? As long as we're doing stuff that makes us happy and, you know, of course, doing the necessities in life. I'd say if we get through it a little bit less miserable, what's the downside? Maybe some creative genius comes out of this. Who knows? Maybe the next J.K. Rowling. She wrote on the back of a napkin. So, all right. If you have any questions, if you want to give me any feedback, if you want me to work this out with you and brainstorm with you, whatever the case, you know me, text me. Okay? Enjoy the rest of your night and the rest of your week. Bye.